Thanks to the remarkable bravery of our own people, they stopped this coup, and I think they gave really a very dignified message to the world that they are committed to their democracy, freedom, and the rule of law, no matter who the enemy is. You know, we've seen scenes that we've never seen in this country before. Our own soldiers pointing guns at our own people, unarmed people, civilian people on the streets. And we lost 242 people. As a result of that, more than 1,500 people have been injured. They are celebrating their victory on the streets. On the other hand, of course, they want to make sure that these things do not happen again. So they are giving a very powerful message to the people that no matter what happens, they will be on the streets to protect their rights, their country, their unity. The fight against this Gülenist structure within the state institutions has been underway for some time. In fact, there was already a process going on, identifying these people. Some of these army generals who participated in the coup attempt, for example, were going to be either dismissed or not promoted in the next military high council meeting in August. So maybe they thought that this was their last chance, to do something to stop this. But the Gülenists, had this idea from the very beginning. Now, if you look at some of their statements, they claim that they have nothing to do with this. It's really, laughable, to hear them, say these things. Because if you ask them, even their movement doesn't exist. They don't own any schools. They claim they don't own any TV or media outlets. If you ask them, they don't own any banks. If you ask them, they don't have any companies or nothing. So how come that this whole empire of banks and institutions and schools and companies, etc., has been operated by these people? So it's clear that they are behind this, and their words are not credible at all, not to be taken seriously at all. All the actions that are being taken right now within the framework of the state of emergency, in fact, are designed to protect freedom, democracy, and rule of law. There will not be any impact on people's daily lives. There will not be any impact on freedom to travel, freedom to assembly, freedom of expression, or economic activities. None of that. People in their daily lives will not be affected by this, just like as it happened in France. After the Paris attack, the French government also declared state of emergency, as far as I know, for 3 months first, and then they extended it. Now, just recently, 2 days ago, they extended it for another 6 months after the Nice attack. And that's a justifiable, legitimate action that was taken by the French government, and no one will criticize them. There is a legal process that needs to be completed for his extradition to Turkey. We've been raising this issue for some time, but now after the July 15 coup attempt, a file is being formed right now. And the first batch, in fact, has been already sent to the American Justice Ministry through our foreign ministry. And there will be more as we gather more evidence that all that will be collected and presented to the U.S. authorities. Of course, our expectation and the initial reaction that we hear from the U.S. authorities is that they will take it very seriously. They will look into it with serious consideration. And once that legal process is completed, our expectation, of course, is his extradition. According to the legal experts, in fact, there is more than sufficient ground for his extradition. And we are hoping that that will be the result at the end of this process. After this coup attempt, people outside Turkey need to understand why the emotions are so high here and how people feel about this, because they died on the streets. Ordinary citizens died on the streets, and they were killed by their own people. Now, from the point of view of a sense of justice, it's only natural, for these people who lived through this to ask for capital punishment. And the president said that if that's the demand of the people, of course it's up to the parliament to pass that law, he will ratify it when or if it is presented to him. Now there is obviously a very strong demand for this in the country at the moment. As far as the implications for the EU are concerned, Obviously, there will be some implications there. We will deal with it when and if that legislation passes the parliament. If it means suspending the EU membership process, well, that will be the case, and we will have to deal with it at that point.